This is going to be part 5 of my The Man series about Jesus and how he carries himself as a man with his authority is worthy. It's remarkable, noteworthy, and makes it clear that he's not of this world. He's definitely from God. So in Matthew 15, there's an example of a woman where he kind of gives instruction to, and she counters him. She challenges him, and he ends up submitting to her and following like the wisdom that she gives him. So Matthew 15, verse 21. Jesus went away from there and withdrew into the district of Tyre and Sidon. And a Canaanite woman from that region came out and began to cry out, saying, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is cruelly demon-possessed." But he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and implored him, saying, "Send her away, because she keeps shouting at us." But he answered and said, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and began to bow down before him. Like, basically, that's his way of like kindly saying, "No, I can't meet your need. I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and began to bow down before him, saying, "Lord, help me." Like, she is persistent, even though Jesus is saying, like, "No, I can't do what you're asking me to do." Like, she doesn't submit to that, and she keeps persisting. She came and began to bow down before him, saying, "Lord, help me." And he answered and said, "It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs." So he's explaining to her. He's like, at first he like kindly told her no, and she persisted. So now he's explaining why he can't. It's not good for me to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Like, I came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This was the purpose the Lord, God sent me. It's not good for me to take this bread, Jesus is the bread, that's for the house of Israel, and throw it to the dogs, to the Gentiles. I'm the fulfillment of the promise that God made to the house of Israel. He's like, so this is why I can't meet your need. Verse 27, but she said, "Yes, Lord, but even the dogs feed on the crumbs which fall from their master's table." Basically saying, I understand, Jesus, that it's unlawful for you to throw the bread to the dogs, but we don't have to call it bread. We can call it breadcrumbs. And that is lawful, because even the dogs feed on the breadcrumbs that fall from the master's table. So, Jesus saw that work as initially being outside of the bounds that God the Father had given him for being sent as an apostle of God, as a son of God, as the Messiah. In his submission to the Father, it's like he came to the house of Israel. He wasn't to, throw the bread to the Gentiles. His submission meant that he couldn't step outside of those bounds. So he couldn't throw the bread, but she's like, "We can call it breadcrumbs." And he's like, "Perfect." It's like a loophole for good. That's lawful. And it shows that Jesus actually did want to serve. If he didn't want to serve, he would just be like, "No, I can't throw the bread." And that's it. But he does want to serve people. And even when this service initially seems outside of the bounds that God had given him for his works and what who he came to serve and what he came to accomplish, her response is, even the dogs feed on the crumbs. It's like, oh, this is a way I can meet your need while not transgressing the bounds that God has given me. Then Jesus said to her, "O woman, your faith is great. It shall be done for you as you wish." And her daughter was healed at once. So she's praised for her faith. "O woman, your faith is great." And like all throughout this series, it's like she was unsubmissive. She's a little unruly. She didn't heed Jesus's words. She just she persisted, and based off of her faith and her wisdom, Jesus changed his course of action and submitted to her faith, and fulfilled her need. And I think that is remarkable, which is why I'm remarking on it. It's noteworthy. And it just, the disciples in the beginning, it just shows how, like, the mindset of the disciples and this woman is just so different. It's like, I don't know what the book is. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's like how they think is so different. The way this woman thinks and the way these disciples think. Like, this woman came to Jesus and was crying out to Jesus and interceding on behalf of her daughter. So she wasn't even interceding for herself. She's like, I want to intercede for those I have authority over, for those that are weaker than me, on behalf of her daughter. My daughter is cruelly demon possessed. Like, this is a big need. She's cruelly demon possessed. Her daughter is suffering by the possession of a demon. And it's based off of her daughter's suffering that she's going to Jesus and crying out on behalf of her daughter, who's cruelly demon possessed. And his disciples, so she's going to Jesus crying out, entreating him to deliver her daughter from this demon. But the disciples, when they heard this, verse 23, his disciples came and implored him, saying, send her away, because she keeps shouting at us. So it's like this woman came and is entreating on behalf of her daughter for Jesus to cast out this demon, and the disciples' response is that they go to Jesus and they're imploring him to send her away, to cast her out, as if like she's the equivalent of, like her behavior is equivalent to that of the demon over her daughter. Like, she keeps shouting at us. Like, they're so bothered by her cries for help. She's shouting at us, like for them to view it that way, like she's crying out for help, and their perception is that she's just shouting at us. Lord, please send her away. These shouts, we can't anymore, Lord. Like, send her away, cast her out, as if she was a demon. I don't know how Jesus did it sometimes with his disciples. Just how they view, they don't have the capacity to consider someone else's needs and what, like Jesus, his words are powerful. One word, and like that one guy that came to have Jesus heal his servant. He's like, just say, you don't even have to go to my house. Just say the word and he's going to be healed. Like Jesus just has to speak in order to meet that need. But they're like, no, Jesus, instead of using your words and your breath to fulfill this woman's need in healing her cruelly demon-possessed daughter, Jesus, we would rather you use your words to tell her to go away, to send her away. Use your words for that purpose instead. We understand it's going to take the same amount of effort. Like, you're going to have to breathe, you're going to have to speak, and it's like maybe the same amount of syllables to heal the woman of her daughter from being demon possessed. But we would rather use your words to just send her away so that we don't have to hear her shouting at us. Like, you're shouting at Jesus because of this noise complaint. And this woman is like crying out for her daughter to be delivered from being demon possessed. And it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand how Jesus kept it together with some of his disciples. And their lack of compassion and empathy, and how like their needs were like here, and it's like, we're bothered by this shouting, please, like, free us from this noise complaint. And they don't even consider like this woman's needs. It's just wild. How does Mark put it? Yeah, it's kind of the same. So I just think that interactions, how Jesus used his authority, and like the submission that Jesus expected. Like he's rendering a decision to this woman, like, no, I can't do this, and she like counters and doesn't submit, doesn't heed his words. And it's like, he's not offended by that. He's not telling her to obey. He's not telling her to be quiet. He's not telling her to respect authority. He's not telling her to submit to your head. Like, he's considerate of her, and he wants to understand, and he wants to meet that need. And at first he thinks he's bound, that he's not able to do that work because of the boundaries God put in place. But he does want to help, and once he sees that, oh, there is a way I can help, he fulfills it. He actually wants to help people. That's how you know people are genuine. Like, if you have a need, and if they like hear you and they're like, I don't think I can help you, I'm so sorry, bye. It's like, well, there are times when people ask me for help and I don't have the means to help them, but other people come to my mind in my network that I know of, and it's like, well, if I don't think I can meet their need, but I have people I can reach out to try to fulfill that. Or, I'm not sure if I can help, but I can try, and maybe the Lord will equip me to help you. Like, if you actually want to help someone, you're going to put feet to that, even if it doesn't look like you can. You're going to put forth the effort to at least try to help them as far as you're able to help them. And maybe you're not able to like fully fulfill their need, but you can do something. So that's how you know people are genuine, if they actually like want to help you. Okay, bye.